All right. Okay, welcome. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Metal Detecting Nation. We just want to welcome you. A couple things about Metal Detecting Nation. It is a place where all of us can kind of communicate as a community. What a wonderful community we have. I think it's really cool that this stream is just built for individuals who want to be on it. We aren't, like I said, giving away anything or selling anything or promoting anything, but it is something that I think would be beneficial to the metal detecting community just to have an open dialogue and discussion about certain things. We don't know it all. We certainly aren't know-it-alls, but we like talking about our hobby. I'd like to welcome our guests for tonight, our panel. We have Dave Pigman from DP DirtFisher. We have Audra and Rachel from Jersey History Hunters. And we have Brandon from Mr. Detectorist. How's everybody doing today?
Great, Jordy. How you doing, dude?
Good. We're doing well, except for the weather outside. It is a bitter 20-something degrees out. I was kicking around the dirt this morning to see if the dirt was frozen. There's a chance we can get out later in the week, and hopefully tomorrow and Friday will be in the 40s. But I'm hoping not. That frozen stuff coming yet. So.
Yeah, we had some snow and ice today. It was cold.
It's a balmy 35 compared to your 20.
Yeah, it was cold.
Dave, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
Doing all right. What's new with you?
Everybody. Hey, Brandon.
Hey.
Yeah, Brandon. Welcome, Brandon. Glad that you were able to make our live stream tonight. Brandon's going to get the little bit of the hot seat tonight and have to answer some questions that we all answered on the panel last week, but I think it'll be a great conversation.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks for having me on here. This is a good thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Did you happen to get out last week?
I did. I got out last week and I did a live stream of just some detecting in the water because it's a blistering 45 here right now.
Oh, that's right. We have a little, blistering 45. It's all relative, right?
Yeah. Your body gets acquainted with wherever you're at. So it's really cold for me.
Yeah, absolutely. We're praying for 40 degrees tomorrow and Friday.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Dave, you want to take it away a little bit?
Sure. Brandon, got a couple questions for you, bud.
All right.
Where exactly are you from?
So I grew up in upstate New York, and then I was an Army brat. So we went to school, and now I live in the Panhandle of Florida, over by Destin, if anybody knows where that's at.
And when did you start detecting?
I started probably about 5 years ago, 6 years maybe. I didn't ever detect when I was in New York, sadly. But somebody gave me an old bounty hunter detector with the little dot or the little hand that goes, that goes back and forth.
Needle.
Yeah, that pretty much tells you got something with anything. And then I just slowly upgraded detectors to what I got now. I use a Equinox 800.
Awesome. I gotta say, I love your banner on your YouTube page.
Oh, thank you.
That is so cool. And your videos, that water, I watch them just to feel like I'm on vacation sometimes.
I get that from a lot of people. They like to just watch them just because of the water. And I try and put that into my videos just because so many people have enjoyed that.
Yeah, I got 3 months here at least of not being able to detect. So all of the beach hunters, honest to God, I literally save in a little file and I sit and watch them. Just imagine sitting on a beach somewhere when it's like 15 degrees outside. So yeah,
I'll send you a video of just the beach and the waves. About 20 minutes of that. You can just watch that on repeat.
I'd be more than happy to.
So do you spend the majority of your time on the beach or do you go on land as well?
Now the majority of my hunting is on the beach. I lived over by, I moved here from, if anybody's aware, with Mobile, Alabama. I used to live over there and I did a lot more my father-in-law he's a farmer and owns a bunch of land that actually had a bunch of old houses on it. And so I hunted those a lot and tried to get over towards Mobile to do some of the Civil War stuff that was over there. But now that I'm over here, I'm pretty much on the beach. There's not really, this area is not that old. It does have old places, but I've had some trouble getting into those. I'm actually about to send out some letters because some of these old homes, the people don't live in them. So I looked them up, and I'm actually going to send out some letters to some of these homes to see if I can't get permission to hunt them.
So do you send that letter to the homeowner, or if it's in foreclosure, is there the bank?
I'll send it to the homeowner. I'll look them up through their tax records and find their address that they have for those, because more than likely, if it's the address that's on their tax record, that's the address that they use for mailing. So I'll send it to that.
Very cool.
What's your best find in the water?
Probably, I don't have it here. I actually sold it to buy a drone, but it was a men's bracelet, and I don't remember the exact weight of it, but it was 14 karat gold, and I actually got it appraised because it was so heavy, and it was appraised for just under $2,000.
Wow.
Nice.
Real nice.
It looked like it just, the little clasp broke on it and it fell off into the beach, and I sold it on eBay, and this was a little while ago, but for about $700 and something. So got me a drone that I do a lot of my videos with, some of the field videos. I haven't done much with a beach, but yeah.
Now, a lot of the finds my first year, I took all the clad and I put them in the bank, and I made sure I knew how much I detected so it didn't get mixed up with anything else. And I found some gold. I sent it to I think it was Midwest Refinery, scrapped it, sent me a check, and that's how I upgraded my metal detectors year after year, just by what I found and then selling a detector here or there.
Yeah, that's what I did last year. Was I sold, I for some reason I don't sell my silver. I keep that, but I sold the gold, and I think I got about just under $500 last year.
That's awesome.
So not too bad.
What was your best find on land?
Probably the coolest find was so the property that I hunt on my family's land, my father-in-law has lived there his entire life, and his grandparents and his great-grandparents have all lived on this same piece of property. So anything I find, it's always neat because it was dropped by one of his grandparents, basically. So let's see if I can get this on here, but this is it is made from, it looks like a penny, and it is a silhouette of his great-grandmother that we figured out just by kind of, I mean, it's pretty rough, but kind of, we've seen some other pictures that, I don't know if anybody's seen those like black and white silhouette things that they do. But it looks very similar to one of those that was made from her. So that's probably my coolest find that I think, just because of where it came from and whose it was. And, you know, it looks like it's made from a penny. So to me, that's neat. And somebody wore it. I don't know if you can, I gotta be real soft here. You can see where they poked a hole in it. So somebody wore this around, and it was his family. So I think, to me, that's one of the coolest things about metal detecting, is that you can find, you know, stuff that's been dropped in the ground and people have walked over it for years, and you come along and swing over it and dig it up and bring, you know, that thing that was lost back to life. And that to me is probably one of the coolest things. So that's probably one of my top finds that I have.
That's awesome.
That is very, very nice.
Very-
If a detectorist was to go down to Florida and go on the beach, do they have to worry about places to go, or is that all opened up for everybody to go on the beach?
It is where I'm at. I know it gets kind of iffy when you get over to the East Coast, Treasure Coast. I know, I'm not sure if this is true, and somebody in chat might know different, but the water over there, I think, as far as like St. Augustine and that area, they kind of frown upon it. I think people still do it, and you definitely cannot dig in the dunes. That's a big no-no. But for the most part, if it's a public beach, it's free game. But they're doing stuff now where they're trying to say that the people who live on the beach own that portion of the beach. So, yeah. I know that's like that up north. I know Lake Michigan and places like that. When you own a house on the lake, you own the beach as well, and not that doesn't count up to, I guess, the tide line. So you can kind of do the tide lines, which majority of everything dropped is usually going to be in the water anyways. So I haven't had an issue with it. But public stuff, you're good to go. Stay off any Air Force or Army, any military. They'll get you for that.
Yeah. Same here.
Yeah.
Got here either, you know. So you're on the West Coast?
I am, on the Gulf Coast.
Oh, okay. I used to live in Punta Gorda.
That's more south?
Yeah, south by below Clearwater.
Okay. Okay. Yep.
Pretty
I'm up by
historic.
Destin, so Destin, Pensacola area.
Okay.
I know where you are. I used to live in Perry.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, I'll throw my hat in the ring. I was 8-9 months in Tampa, Florida.
There you
So
go.
we're all West Coasters.
How about you, David?
Oh, well, my parents live on the Gulf.
There you go.
Sorry,
We're all
Everybody's got a
connected in
connection.
some way.
I've been down there many times.
That's cool. So do you prefer like coins or jewelry or relics?
Honestly, I really enjoy the relics and coins the most. I like the history aspect of that.
Absolutely.
I actually have a degree in archaeology, and
Oh, awesome.
I never used it because nobody told me that you had to get a doctorate to basically get a job.
Yeah.
So I never used it, but I've always enjoyed that aspect of it, digging up stuff has a story with it. Finding stuff on the beach, there's not really a story. It's usually a tourist that came down, wore their jewelry to the beach, and lost it, is pretty much it. But digging it in the ground, just like that little coin silhouette, there's a story behind it.
Yeah.
And it's kind of fun to try and figure out what that story was. If there's writing, do some research, see where it was made, see the history behind the item that you have dug up, versus just finding stuff on the beach. You dig a lot more targets on the beach, but
Yeah. Well, yeah.
just
We're
'cause
the
it's-
same way, but you never know. Like on the beach, you can find some old historic coins.
Yeah, well, that's
You never
the
know.
problem with down here is it's not very old.
Yeah.
And I guess the beaches erode so much, they pull so much from the Gulf and throw it back on to it, that anything old, it's way, way down there.
Yeah.
So I guess if a big storm comes, kind of erodes it away and you're able to get that older stuff. But for the most part, you're looking at 12 inches in the ground
Oh, wow.
Wow.
is pretty much where most of your
Much
stuff's
bigger
at.
for me.
Especially beach sand.
But shark teeth, I see behind you there, you have some, is that arrowheads and shark teeth back there?
I'm gonna let my dog out real quick. He's keeps looking at me. Hold on.
And a lot.
Go.
Hey, I see, just so you know, I see Metal Pirate Girl. I see Detection Connection. I see Digging Canuck.
Hey,
Research
Liz.
Research Treasure Hunting Emporium, Kep Valley. Darcy's in the house. Our moderator tonight is Nancy, Ambient Girl Relic Hunter. Paramotor Crazy was in here. North Jersey Detector. We have let's see, we have right now 16 people. We always said that whether there was just us talking or whether there was 100 people watching us, we don't care. We just want to have a conversation. So thanks for joining us, and ask questions if you want to in the chat.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so that shark tooth was actually found by my dad in Venice Beach,
Oh,
down
cool.
in South Florida. When he was growing up, he used to sift the sand and actually found that. And it's a pretty big tooth.
It looks big.
I wouldn't want to met that shark in the water.
No.
That's why I don't go in salt water.
Yeah, yeah. It's always fun to watch the people swimming if you're in one of the condos and how close sharks are actually to people, and you never even know it.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Rachel don't go in the water at all.
Yeah,
Oh, I go in a pool.
I love pools too.
So what about your videos are really cool. We enjoy the scenery and everything, but also do you use any special editing videos?
So I also have a degree in graphic design. I'm kind of all over the place as far as degrees go. I have a master's in information systems, so
That's what I do.
I've covered every spectrum.
We do the same thing.
Oh yeah, but yeah. So I use mainly Adobe
Okay.
to edit my videos, and then for my drone shots, I use a Mavic Pro. I've really enjoyed using that. Just its ability to follow me, and I don't have to worry about it flying away. And I can film myself and not have a person flying it. Is a really nice feature. But yeah, pretty much any editing I do is with Adobe, and then any drone shot is the Mavic, and then all my recordings are a GoPro Hero 7.
Oh, cool.
I have a question from Destiny Nitro in the chat. Destiny asks, do you collect bottles?
Asking me?
Yeah, I believe so. It says, do you collect bottles? I don't know if that's for me. I personally do not collect bottles. Sorry about that, JHH.
collect
I apologize. I know.
We do. We
Are there
don't
any
buy.
bottles in Florida? Is the area old enough to have that kind of a find?
There it might be. I haven't found any old bottles. Like I said, here I've been mainly on the beaches, but we do have some older areas that I'm trying to get kind of a foot in. There's actually a house that's just down the road from me, and it's an old house that's the woods have grown around it, and I'm trying to get in contact with the owner of that property to see if I can't get on there, and if anything, just walk around and look, because it's a really, I don't really know the age of the house, but I would say definitely early 1900, somewhere around there.
Yeah, very cool.
So I got a picture of some bottles that we had found not too long ago. If you want to check that out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's see it. Absolutely.
All right. So these guys here, can you see it?
Oh yeah.
The large one is a hutch from Red Bank, New Jersey. That's our first one like that. It's still got the stopper in it.
Oh, I see that. That's so cool.
Yeah.
And that was a day maker. And then this is a Bixby shoe polish. that they're both from the mid to late 1800s.
Wow.
Did you find the one with the stopper in it because of the stopper, or were you looking for about?
Yes.
Oh.
That's what did it. And then I scraped around a little more, and there was the other one. And this was an area we detect a lot, but just not that part of it. So we love bottles, and whenever I find one like that, I'm a happy camper.
That's pretty cool. I always wondered how they actually engraved any of that stuff back then, and how they made that.
Yeah, I know they're hand blown, but I don't know how they do it. And
These are blown into molds.
Are they?
in the molds.
Wow. Very cool.
That was
All right. Dave, any other questions for
Well, there's a question on here. Has anyone found any old guns or weapons when detecting?
Oh, gee, that was set up.
As a matter of fact.
All right, take it away, Jersey history hunters.
All right, so we happen to have one
That's so amazing.
What is that, Rachel?
The model number 1879 Reich revolver. It's a German-made officers, military and naval sidearm. They weren't issued them. They actually had to purchase them themselves. And typically they would actually decorate the stock and personalize it. This one's not, but it is the original wood on it. They were the first ones to have a safety and a side popping barrel.
Yeah, the safety there.
Wow.
That's awesome. I heard you guys talking about it on Monday night when you were interviewed by Digger Digaz and Gypsy on the
All metal mode.
All Metal Mode podcast. I listened to it. It was fascinating. I learn more about you guys every week. That was really cool. And I heard you guys talk about this. So it was
that was definitely a day maker. We were in shock because Rachel had just found a toy gun and a largie, and like 5 minutes later, I was like, Rach, come over. I got another toy gun. And then as soon as we started pulling it out a little more, it was heavy and solid. We're like, this is not a toy.
That's awesome. That's a beautiful gun.
Thanks.
Very nice. Very nice. All right. So any other questions that we might have for Brandon? If not, we can go into the next section. I don't know if there was anything on the...
Yeah, we got one other question over here.
So,
go ahead.
Brandon, what is number one on your bucket list?
Probably I would love to find, now, since I'm on the beach all the time, I would love to find a engagement ring.
Oh.
But not just an engagement ring just so I could keep it, but I would love to find one and then be able to return it to whoever.
Yes.
I've wanted to, I found a knife for a guy the other day, and he's in one of my videos, and he's like, this dude is the real deal. And you know, people just get so excited when you return something that they thought was lost. And I think that would be probably one of my bucket lists, was be able to find like somebody's engagement ring, or and return it to them. I know everybody likes the class rings and stuff, and that's neat too, but I would really like the engagement ring and then be able to
That's
return
an
it.
awesome bucket lister.
Yeah.
But
So
I do have
go ahead. I'm sorry.
pretty random. Well, it deals with the guns. I didn't find this, but a friend of mine found it, and it's local here, and I've yet to go where they where he found it, but it was just, hold on one second. I don't know if you guys can see that. It's a little single shot 22, and I cleaned it up, and it actually, I can get everything working on it, and it was sitting in the water, just 6 inches of water, and it was sitting right there, and he found it there one day. And it's a let's see if I can't read this. I can't read it. It looks like the Hamilton rifle number 1522 cal. But yeah, I'm not going to fire it, but I did this just to make sure that it didn't have any like a live round in it. But I redid the stock on it, and waxed it and polished it up as much as I could to not make it look brand new. But yeah, that was a neat little thing that he gave it to me, because he didn't care anything about it, and when he gave it to me, it was completely rusted out. And I spent probably about a week or two soaking it, cleaning it, and soak it again, and eventually got it to where it actually, I wouldn't say functions, but has moving parts now.
It was in salt water?
It was brackish. So during the winter time, when it doesn't rain as much, it's more salt. But then when it was in the summertime, when it rains a lot, it was more fresh most of the time. But he said it was just barely sticking out of the mud, and he saw the stock. So I don't know. It was pretty rusted. I have a picture of it when it was rusted, but I don't know what I did with it. But yeah, just a little piece of history. I think it was made from 1901 to 1910. So definitely try and hit that area up.
So I believe one of my students is in the chat. I actually probably have several students in the chat, which is great, because if we can get them hooked on history and in metal detecting, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
But Landon said that his father found an old bayonet from the Civil War, and I'm saying that because I know that you look at your eyes lighting up, Audra. That is something
my bucket lister.
Yeah, that is very, very, very cool. I'm glad that you landed. Thanks for chatting in there. That's awesome. So I actually found a ring. I was hunting with either Pat or I think Dave, maybe at the reservoir here locally, and I found a ring. It was the class ring, standard class ring, and but it was, I would say, about 50 miles away where she was. I went on Facebook and sent a little message to her, told her I found the ring and that I would send it back to her. But the only problem was I needed her address, and that poses a huge problem for people trying to return things. I mean, when you talk about social media giving away some information, so what I did was I actually sent a picture to her in that instant messenger or the messaging app. And I told her, listen, is this yours? This is what I found. And she said, yes. I said, and I think I had my wife involved somehow. You don't want to be too stocky, and weird when you're helping try to return stuff, because people are skeptical, and I would be probably too. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. If somebody randomly, contacted me and was like, I found this thing that you lost many years ago.
Yeah.
I want to send it back to you. I'd be like, okay. But me being who I am, I would be like, yeah, send it to me. Let me see it.
Yeah.
We had tracked someone down once for World War II medals we found. And what we did was we met at a public park. Because, she was close by, so it wasn't stalkishy.
Yeah. All right. So I guess we'll move forward here. I have a couple things that I'd like to share. So I don't know if we could have a segment each week where we kind of promote maybe some of the things going on in our community, but I did find a video off of Gone Diggins' channel. And I emailed Matt, and I don't know Matt, but thank you, Matt, for allowing me to share this 35-second clip of something pretty cool. And I'll go ahead and pull it up. But I do want to let you know that if you want to be on the channel, you want something that we can share, go ahead and email diggingwithdinger51@gmail.com. But I'm going to go ahead and share this right now. So hopefully this comes through and we can view it. You ready?
Yeah.
Oh, hold on. You can share. Go ahead and email digging at digging with dinger51 at gmail.com. There we go.
Holy smoking Joes. That's an 8. Second one, guys. Yeah. Second one. Holy crap. Put some water on that joker. 1802. Oh my God, dude. Man. Oh my God. Frankie was bouncing up and down, and I was like, what are you? Man, dude. Hold on, let me get some water on it. I'm shaking.
So I just wanted to share that. I thought that was super cool. I know Donnie's in the chat, and I was with Donnie when he found his 8 real, and he was shaking. And that's my bucket lister, is to find some sort of a real. I said last week, a bit, 2 bits, 3 bits, anything. So I thought that was pretty cool. But Audra and Rachel, you guys are, from what I listened to on the podcast on Monday, you guys are kind of the relic queens. I mean, well, yeah, you're the relic queens. You're the the real queens, right? You found you found 4, right?
6. We found 6.
6. Wow.
Yeah, but no 8. We haven't found an 8 yet. We got halves and reals, but no 8 real.
Yeah, Audra bucket list real is an 8. Mine is, I'm like you, I'll be happy with a 2-bit, just so I could sing shaving a haircut. And I will in the video, shaving a haircut.
Yeah.
That's really cool. That's awesome. Very, very cool.
When we least expect it.
I'm sorry, say that again?
When we least expect it, they always pop up.
Usually when we're leaving where we were at. On our way out, we find them.
Yeah. So anybody want to share anything else tonight, or you want me to go to a couple other things? It's up to you guys. Do you have anything to share?
We're okay. We shared twice. Anybody else want to share?
Anybody else want to share?
I don't have anything.
Okay. Well, then I'll
one thing in that gun.
Yeah, so I'll just tell you how frustrated I was. I went out Saturday morning. I was supposed to meet some other people and detect. Unfortunately, that fell through, and that's okay. Things fall through all the time, but I decided to go out. It was really cold, about 28.9, but it was no wind. Sun was out. It was a beautiful, beautiful morning, and I had my Equinox 800, and I went on to YouTube and tried to find some sort of a easy program. I'm talking about, we're not mixing up any of the tones or any of that kind of weird stuff. And I got on the field, and boy, I found I was like the Iron King. And now I admittedly haven't upgraded to the new upgrade or the new update, the F2 update. But I was really confused, and I know that being frustrated in the hobby a little bit is something that comes and goes with being out there, but I did not understand what my metal detector was talking about. And so I restarted it, did a shutdown and a restart or whatever, reboot, and went to the Park 1 mode and found a button and moved on. I went to the field that the magic field. That's what I'm going to name it. You got me thinking about all the names of, of all the places we go. The magic field, and I didn't really find anything good there, but it was a good day just to get out. And I had to remind myself, like, why, detecting is peaceful, it's relaxing, it's a way to distress. Doesn't matter what you find, but I think I found 13 iron nails, part of a chain. So it was an iron square nail day for sure.
Name that a song. Iron Square Nail Day.
That's a good song. We have days like that a lot. It's like, but ours are more like shotgun shells and nail days. Which after you hike for an hour to get there, it's exhausting.
Yeah.
But does anybody else do what we tend to do? Like, you find something really cool. We always say when we go to our spot, if we find something good, we're sticking around there. We find something good and we wander away.
Do you really?
Yeah, like
Why do we do
immediately.
that?
We'll find, like, we found that when we got the New Jersey copper. We left that area like 2 seconds later.
No, I've never done that because my permission, I don't have a lot of permissions. I don't know if that's because of not having a lot of permissions. Maybe subconsciously you're saying, okay, this spot's great. Let's go try another spot. I know I can always come back here.
Maybe, maybe.
I don't know.
I didn't think of that.
Why do you think you guys move around a little bit?
We talk about it all the time, and we're like, we get this time
wander.
we find something, we're staying there, and we do for maybe the first like 5 minutes. We'll wander around a little bit immediately in the area, and then next thing you know,
She goes that way, I go that way. I turn around, I'm like, where are you?
where are you? And we're like, 100 yards from where we found something.
We need walkie-talkies.
Some people use walkie-talkies. I've seen that before, but in those big, huge hunts, the pound the ground things and things like that. Anybody else
done any of those big hunts?
Me?
Any of you guys?
I have not done any of those big hunts. The only group hunts that I used to do was with Detection Connection. He would get some campgrounds, old Boy Scout campgrounds, and we would go there. And I found some really great stuff. Dave joined me for
the biggest
that.
one I've ever been on.
It was probably, I don't know, Don in the chat, maybe one of them, the Tom Weaver Memorial, was maybe 35, 40 guys and girls. It was, but that's all I've been on. I can't wait to go to something like Pound the Ground or to be around other people.
It's amazing. It really is. It's so much fun. We love the group hunts. Pound the Ground we've been to almost all of them, and it's always great.
Yeah.
It's just amazing.
I mean, we enjoy hunting, but we enjoy the camaraderie much more.
The people.
Yeah. Donnie's saying pound the ground here.
Pound the Ground.
Pound the Ground. What a great name. I guess speaking of pound the ground, I might as well do that now. I caught wind of a couple things here. I don't know if you guys can see that, but if you're interested in attending the next Pound the Ground, it's going to be in Rhode Island. The address is going to be in Saunderstown. I hope I said that right. Rhode Island, and it's April 3rd, 4th, and April 5th. And you can go to Rhode Island Relics on Facebook if you want more information. I believe you can go there and also pay your ticket for this. It looks like they're going to have 2 natural hunts, 2 seeded hunts, and then they looks like they're going to have a themed ET themed hunt. It says, but sounds pretty cool. I looked; it's about 10.5 hours away from me. Unfortunately, with being a teacher, I have to wait till something comes up in the summer, June, July, August, for me to attend. But anybody, are you guys going, Audra, Rachel?
Yeah, we think we are going, and we're going to have to take a few vacation days each, right?
Yeah.
And
And we're going.
then we're going. Friday night is a special theme for ET. They're going to have special effects and everything. Hi, who's that? They're muted.
Say hi.
Hi,
Hi. What's their name?
KK.
She just wanted to come in and say hi.
Oh, that's awesome.
Hi.
That's what it's about. It's awesome. Hey, we have another question. It says, what is the best way to get the younger generation involved in metal detecting? And what do you guys think?
Well, we like to show the fun side. And we're actually going to be taking Girl Scouts out on an outing. Right, Rich?
Yeah, in the spring. It was supposed to be this fall, but we couldn't, between weather and stuff, coordinate. So we're doing it in the spring. We're having a troop. And then if goes well, like with the girls, if it seems like they were really keen on it, and if we had a good time, and it's, it may expand from there, like to other troops.
Yeah, so that would help.
That would definitely help. I think, I don't know about me. I think being a teacher, talking about it some in school, things like that, might help out a little bit.
Yeah, definitely.
I I think that might do it. Any youngsters over there, Brandon?
Yeah, I think for me, so I think the hardest part to hold on. Okay, hold on. The hardest part, I think, is getting past all the trash. When the younger kids, they want to detect, they want to find the good stuff. And I don't want to say I've done a good job, but I've made, for my nephews and Kate, I've made finding trash fun. You know, we dig a lot of pull tabs, and they kind of get excited when they dig a pull tab. And I think just getting them excited about just digging stuff in general makes it easier for the younger generation, because one, not a lot of people have patience to go out there for hours and dig a bunch of trash and then come back and say, oh, I had a great time. But if you can get them excited about, like, oh, what did we find? What is this? Like I found, I think it was just a piece of iron, and my nephew was like, what is this? And I was like, I don't know, let's spray it with water. And, it's just a piece of iron, and I know it was a piece of iron, but to him, it could have been anything. And, I think that is a big thing, is getting them excited about the hunt and not necessarily what you're finding.
Yeah, I can imagine if you react like, oh, you found, oh, good try. That's all right. You found some, but if you act like, whoa,
yeah,
that you're right.
My other nephew, and he'll call it junk, and I'll just be like, oh, we just found some more junk. Let's keep going. And, I've got about an hour and a half out of him. So that's pretty good for a 5-year-old.
That's amazing. My daughter metal detects with me, and she's 17. She's been detecting with me since she was about 9 or 10. And I don't know if anybody else does this, but I have to come clean. She would be swinging her coil, and I would throw a quarter over her head and have it try to land in the path that she was swinging over. And when she found it, I erupted like a crazy person and tried to make it.
I did that with I had a dollar coin, and we were digging in a hole, and we weren't finding anything. And I was digging down in the hole, and I made the dirt all like loose. And then in this hand, I had the coin, and I went to dig more and then stuck it under. And I was like, hey, Jack, I think I saw something in there. And he's like, okay. And the pinpointer went off, and he grabbed it, and he's, going crazy. He's like, coin.
That's awesome. That's what it's about. That's definitely what it's about.
Good job.
My profile picture on Zoom and now on YouTube is my grandson, and I got
if you turn off your camera, we could see it.
Did she draw something?
She's fine.
And I got him his own belt, his own little shovel. And then when we went out, I gave him the pinpointer. And in his backyard, he's sitting in that picture, he's got his hands out. We found 5 different silver coins in his backyard.
Wow. That's great. Well, that's what it's about. Like I said, spread the wealth. I have one of my students, Landon, says that we should get a group of. Now, Landon, I need to teach Landon. This is a teachable moment, as we say. Landon says we should get a group of people from the middle school to go detecting on a weekend sometime. And I've if you could see the chat, I kind of paraphrased a couple of things. But yeah, I'm all for it. We have to, talk about parental permission and things like that. But absolutely, I'd be all for it without a doubt. Absolutely.
I gotta say, it's kind of like that with adults too sometimes. Like, we had a friend come with us, and I was feeling bad because she wasn't finding anything. She was finding, some bullet casings here and there, shotgun shells, a nail. And she was like, no, I'm having a great time. I mean, I'm finding stuff I didn't know that was there. When I walked over, it was dirt.
Yeah.
So I felt bad, like, she didn't even find a penny, but
yeah,
I was thrilled with what she found. So yeah. we can get people to understand it's just like fishing. You're not always guaranteed to catch a fish. The whole art of fishing is throwing your line out.
That's a great point. And I know, Brandon, you fish a lot, right?
Yes, I do fish a lot, and I like fishing too. So I like, you never know what you're gonna get.
Yeah, look behind Dave and see that nice catch right there.
That's a big walleye from Lake Erie that I caught. There's a
I like
bass.
everything about fishing, but taking it off the hook. Somewhere in my life, I decided it was gross and I won't do it anymore.
That's funny. That is funny. Yeah, Nancy got on it. Girls love to detect too.
That's right.
I won't take any points off of him in class, but yeah, no, everybody should be out. We'll definitely do that. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow about it, actually. All right. Well, we got to.
Detector does it. He's starting a class at his school. The what's his? I forgot his screen name now. The New York guy.
Oh, that's right. I did see that. Merrill.
In New York City.
Detecting New York City. He's starting a class at his school for metal detecting.
Yeah, it says NYC. Is it Merrill is starting
Yes.
a club at his school? Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah.
Very good. Very good. I might actually try to get a hold of him and see, how he's gone about doing that and get some ideas.
That'd be great.
I've actually done, not to just jump in, but
No.
at the local library, I have actually done like a, I don't know if you call it a talk, but a talk. And I didn't know what to call it.
Presentation.
But yeah, presentation. That's a good way. But hey, just with the teens there, and I had about probably 20 of them, and they really enjoyed it. And I brought all my detectors, and they went out, and I threw a bunch of coins into the grass, and I was like, all right, go and see if you can find them. And they had a lot of fun.
I bet they did.
So that's another way to, kind of get your community involved, is the local libraries usually are a huge outlet. Good job.
That's cool.
Yeah, we did a kind of spur of the moment presentation at our historical society one night. It's like we didn't find out they were doing show and tell one night till the night before, so we didn't write any notes or anything, and just my dinky little laptop had about 20 pictures on it. So kind of just talked about what we do, why we do it, and showed those little pictures, and not one person got up to look at the pictures. They were all sitting in the chairs far back. So we kind of thought it was a bust, like nobody was interested, but as soon as done talking, every hand went up. So they asked us to come back for the next show and tell in February and do an actual presentation where we're going to bring relics they could touch and hold. And another historical society asked us to do one too.
Oh, that's cool.
So pretty good mix of people in those historical societies, age-wise.
Yeah, ours, the Firelands, I actually did a presentation as well. It was similar. I had a little PowerPoint going. I shared how I do research. I shared where I can find the research, because a lot of these people that are there, they love history, but they really don't know how to research it. So I helped them research that. So it was pretty good. Pretty good. You guys are all muted.
Sorry.
Sorry,
Just
Kate
going crazy.
keeps talking. So.
Oh no, you guys are good. No problem. No problem. All right, we got about 10 minutes, a little longer in the for the stream. I hope it's going well. I hope everybody's enjoying it. If you want to be on, again, email me. But I want to share something. It's a story out of the UK. Kind of an interesting difference within our law and over in the UK. So, obviously UK is old and the United States is pretty new, and they have all these different hoards, and they're finding just this amazing gold and silver jewelry, and they about 2015 they found $3 million worth of Viking hoards, and share this picture with you because the sentencing listen to this, the sentencing for these individuals, okay, is unbelievable. So in the I'm going to read something to you guys if that's all right. It says that British law under the Treasure Act of 1996, finders are required to report their treasures to the local coroner's office within 14 days of their discovery. They did not do it. And what's happening is their sentencing has taken place within these last couple of weeks. 3 of them have been sentenced. 1 has not yet. And listen to this. One of them will serve a 10-year prison sentence. One of them will serve an 8.5-year prison sentence. And one of them will spend 5 years behind bars. They're waiting until December 23rd of this year to sentence the other individual. That is unbelievable.
That is crazy. Oh, man.
Yeah. They said that essentially British law states that what's in the ground is theirs. And things like that, go to a museum, you can actually be rewarded for what you found, you and the landowner. But if you don't, I looked at it today. I was like, that's crazy. 10 years.
Because
Now it
they
was
didn't
about
report it, right?
Yeah, and they also
correct.
sold a lot of it.
Yeah, they have to report it.
They had to. If it was worth, they said $3 million. But yeah, they'll be
That's
serving
a lot
10.
of time for that.
Yeah, 10 years. 10 years. And got another story here, kind of a good story, nothing major, but you guys talked a little bit about finding rings and returning them. And I have a story out of, I can't remember where the story was, and I can't find it. That's the problem with a small, tiny
Laptop.
computer where I can't find what I was looking for. But oh well, I'll share that with you guys next time. It was a successful ring find. Someone returned a ring. But that was that's about it. That is about it. All right, so we've gone almost an hour. It's been about 53 minutes, and I just want to remind everyone that if you have information on a group hunt or some kind of information regarding our community, good and bad, I guess, send it our way. We'll talk about it. We'll discuss it. Go ahead, Rachel.
New England Detectorists Buy, Sell, Trade, a Facebook page run by Brian Heath. He's doing the first ever seated hunt, October 29th. I think Audra's gonna
Try and look for the link.
Yeah. So you said a seated hunt October 29th.
Yeah, it's New England Detectorists buy, sell, swap, and raffles. He does like raffles for machines and shovels.
Oh yeah.
And he uses the extra money to donate to the different detecting clubs. And he's putting on his first seated hunt on February 29th.
Oh, February 29th?
Yeah.
Why did I think you said October? My fault.
I probably did. It's February 29th. I'm trying to bring it up now.
He doesn't post about it often, does he? Probably on his personal page. Right?
I will.
Brian Heath.
I'll just leave that here in the
Yeah.
for everybody to see. All right, so you guys can look for that, but I definitely want to thank Nancy for monitoring the chat. Thank everybody for coming into the chat and sharing information. I really do appreciate it. I know that we're always looking for people to come on and be a guest and kind of be on that hot seat. And Brandon, you did great.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah, you did really well, and it was
No, this
nice
was
to meet
good.
your daughter.
Oh yeah. Say bye, Kate.
Hi.
Okay.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Somebody wanted me to duck my head so they could see the fish. Hopefully they can see.
Oh, yeah, I see. Let's see. Who do we have still in the chat? Admonish the Metal, All Metal Mike, Ambient Girl, Austin Ware. Hey, Austin. Detecting Connection, Digging with Deej. Grant Maloney. I got some students. Haluxada. Is that how you pronounce it? I hope. Kep Valley, Darcy's here. Landon Ward, another student. MPG, Mr. Detectorist, who is on, and North Jersey Detector. Seems like people are kind of closing out, getting out of here. But did you guys find the information?
Find it.
We can share it with them another
Yeah,
time.
definitely.
Yeah, we'll definitely have the link the next time. Sorry about that.
Oh, that's fine.
But it's in Connecticut, so.
Yeah. All right. If you want to if you want to get into the after party, I'm going to share a link with you guys. You just need to click it, and it's in the chat right now. And you can join us for after hours here. But I'm going to shut down the live stream. So Dave, Brandon, Rachel, Audra, thank you so much for joining Metal Detecting Nation, and continue being on our panel if you can. You're part of it. You are the reason why this is going well. So if you want to be on here and not on the live stream, we'll stay on, and you're more than welcome to click the link and be a part of our after hours. So thank you very much, and we'll say goodbye to YouTube, and see you next week.
Have a great night, guys.
Bye.
We'll see you later.